All right, let's talk about hiring a contractor. We're going to break it all down so you can protect your biggest investment and feel totally confident about it.
Okay, let's just dive right in. You know that feeling, right? You've got a big project and you need to hire a contractor. It can be super stressful, a really high stakes decision. But what if it didn't have to be? We're going to walk through a checklist that's going to make this whole thing way less of a headache.
And look, let's be real, the stakes are super high. Make one wrong choice here and it can spiral into a total nightmare. We're talking financial messes, bad workmanship you have to live with every single day, and yeah, even nasty legal fights.
Okay, so first up, let's pull back the curtain on some of the most common and, most expensive traps that homeowners fall into like right at the start of this whole process.
All right, the first and probably the biggest mistake, choosing your contractor based only on price. I mean, I get it, it's so tempting to just go with the lowest number. But trust me, that shortcut is packed with hidden risks. Yeah, this quote from the experts, it really hits the nail on the head. It's a truth every single homeowner needs to hear. The cheapest bid you see on paper, it almost always ends up being the most expensive one in the long run. Seriously, just let that sink in for a second. So, what's really going on with that price tag? Well, that super low bid, it's a low for a reason, right? It usually means corners are being cut. They might be using cheap materials or just rushing the job. A value bid, on the other hand, well, that reflects the real cost of doing things right. It's an investment in your home's future, plain and simple. So what's the big takeaway here? It's pretty simple, actually. You have got to do your homework before you sign on that dotted line. Just think of it as your number one line of defense. And this homework, it breaks down into a really simple but super powerful 4-step process. This is basically the essential background check you need to run on any contractor you're even thinking about hiring. First things first, you gotta play a detective a little bit. Dig into their history. And why is that so important? Well, because their past performance is the absolute best way to predict how they'll perform for you. You need to call at least 3 recent customers. And when you're scrolling through online reviews, you're not just looking for one grumpy person. You're searching for patterns. Consistent complaints about the same stuff. Bad communication, poor quality, or maybe they're just not showing up. Okay, next up. This is the one thing you absolutely positively cannot skip: verifying their insurance. It's not just a good idea, it is a must. Because think about it, if you don't and something goes wrong, guess who could be on the hook, personally and financially, for any accidents or damage? Yep, you. And when I say proper insurance, I mean 2 specific things. First, there's general liability. That covers damage to your property. Then there's workers' comp for any injuries. Now, here is a huge pro tip for you. Get that certificate of insurance sent to you directly from their insurance company, not from the contractor. Why? Because that's the only way to be 100% sure you're not getting a fake or an old expired document. And last on this background check, you want to confirm 2 things. 1, is their license actually valid in your state? And 2, do they have real local experience? A licensed local pro is going to know the local building codes. They'll understand the weather challenges in your specific area. Plus, think about it. A contractor who's been around town for a while has a reputation to protect. They're not just going to pack up and vanish if a problem pops up down the road. All right, so you've done all your research. You've vetted a few people, and you think you found a great candidate. Perfect. But now comes the next crucial step for your own protection, getting everything locked down in that contract. And listen, this is one of those non-negotiable, ironclad rules. You have to burn this into your brain. If it is not in writing in that contract, it does not exist. A verbal promise, it means absolutely nothing, legally speaking. Seriously, think of that written contract as your legal armor. It needs to be super detailed. I'm talking spelling out everything: the exact brands and models of the materials, firm's start and end dates, a clear payment schedule, all the warranty info, and even a plan for how you'll handle any disagreements if they pop up. And hey, while we're talking about the contract, let's talk about the warranty for a second, because this is important. A good, strong warranty, that's not just a piece of paper. It's a sign that the contractor is confident in their own work. Now, here's an insider tip. Be really careful with warranties that only cover materials. That is a massive red flag. It means you could be on the hook for all the expensive labor costs to fix a problem. You want coverage for both parts and labor. And hey, here's a bonus. If you can get a transferable warranty, that can actually add to your home's resale value later on. Okay, so let's tie this all together. Here's a final checklist that's really designed to help you move forward and make a really smart, confident choice for your home.
So let's recap the big points. First, always look at the total value, not just the price tag. Second, do that 4-point background check every single time. Third, you have to get a detailed written contract. And finally, and this is so important, never, ever let anyone pressure you into signing right then and there. Take your time. It's your house, your money, and it's your decision. Look, if you follow this checklist, you can really turn what feels like a scary task into a process you actually control. You're not just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best anymore. You'll have the knowledge you need to avoid the common traps and find a great contractor who's going to do the job right.